today. It's a base hit in the first inning, one down the third base line, and again in the fifth. That brings in two, and then how about one? Again, 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Verdugo.
And really played well in the field. We'll hear from him with Meredith on the postgame. Cadillac player of the game, Jeff.
Well, Luis Gil was outstanding. Got deep in the ball game into the 6th. The fastball was working 94 to 98 miles an hour. Had a good little slider and the big changeup. 9 punch-outs, a career high. Outstanding job.
And it leads to a 5-4 Yankee win. Took 2 hours and 42 minutes. Gil, his first win of the year. Gonzalez, his second save. Savali goes 2-2. Ahmad Rosario had a big day. And Alex Verdugo had a bigger day. Coming up on the Yes Network, stay tuned for the WB Mason postgame show with Bob Lorenz, John Flaherty, and Dave Valley. Special thanks to producer Troy Benjamin, director Dan Barr, Mike Webb, Jerry Bosnack, and the executive producer of the Yes Network is Mr. John J. Filippelli. Join us again tomorrow as the Yankees take on the Athletics from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Coverage begins at 12:30 on Yes, with first pitch coming just after 1. Once again, the final score, the New York Yankees 5 and the Tampa Bay Rays 4. For Jeff Nelson and Meredith Marakovitz, I'm Michael Kay, saying see ya from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Now let's go to Bob Lorenz, John Flaherty, and Dave Valley, who are standing by in our Yes Network studios with the WB Mason postgame show.
Hey everybody, it is great to have you with us here on the WB Mason postgame. Bob Lorenz, John Flaherty, and Dave Valley with you. Final game of this 3-game series, and the Yankees beat the Rays 5-4, so they win 2 of 3, and they rediscovered some of the elements that were missing in the first 2 games of the series.
Yeah, we talked on our pregame show, how do you take a series? You get good pitching from your young starter, Luis Gil. He did that. You get more production from your lineup. This lineup looked awfully familiar to the first 2 weeks of the year, especially in that 5th inning, when maybe they took advantage of Kevin Cash, the manager, leaving Savali in there a little bit too long, but they took advantage of the situation that was put in front of them. But for me, Dave, I always go back to the development of young pitchers. Luis Gil took a major step forward today.
Yeah, I thought he was outstanding. The fact that he only had 1 walk in 5 innings after throwing 7 walks in his previous start was a huge step forward. His fastball is electric. I mean, how do you not love that pitch? His changeup and his slider, you talked about in the pregame. He threw that slider a lot more, and it was incredibly effective. So many good things. The offense put it together, and the game was played in a nice, crisp 2 hours and 42 minutes.
Symmetrical, 2-4-2.
Yeah.
Those are our Hyundai opening comments. In the meantime, let's talk about that 5th inning and how the Yankees were able to put some good at-bats together. Finally, Flash, highlights brought to you by your Montefiore Einstein, our turning point of the game. And it started with 2 outs and Savali getting himself into trouble.
Yeah, and you wonder maybe if it's a little bit of fatigue. He falls behind on Giancarlo Stanton 3-0, and that misses badly off the plate. So there's your first walk of the inning. The next batter is going to be Anthony Rizzo. He's going to be in a 3-2 count. He's going to lay off a high fastball, so that's 2 walks in a row. You're thinking maybe Kevin Cash might make a pitching change. No, he walks Gleyber Torres, and because of that, Dave, the Yankees were set up for a big inning.
Yeah, they started putting together some really good at-bats right here. Verdugo jumps on that first pitch after those 3 walks. He knocks in 2. Alex Trevino comes up. Not Alex.
Jose.
I just saw Alex last week. Anyway, he comes up not to be outdone by Verdugo. He doesn't waste any time either. He jumps all over this first pitch from Savali. Another base hit right back through the middle. Yankees score 1 more, making that score 4-1. Oswaldo Cabrera's like, hey, man, you guys really like that first pitch, huh? Maybe I should go up and jump on that first pitch, and he does it into the right center field gap for another base hit as the Yankees go ahead 5-1.
All with 2 outs, and Flash, I mean, they got aggressive there in those at-bats from being very patient with 3 walks to 3 straight hits.
Yeah, and I'm going to go back again, Bob. We know grinding out a starting pitcher, wearing them down, you get to the point where the pitch count is elevated, and they took care of a fatigued starter.
So 5-4, the Yankees win it. They take 2 of 3. That big 5th inning is what tipped the scale, as did Luis Gil. Meantime, let's hear from a guy who had the big hit in the inning, Alex Verdugo, on the field just moments ago with Meredith Marakovitz.
Alex, Aaron Savali kept you guys pretty quiet until that 5th inning. 3 walks and 3 straight singles that led to 4 runs. runs. What was so different about his stuff?
I think the biggest thing today is, we made him work, right? We had in the 5th inning, he's looking at like about 90-ish pitches. So that's the biggest thing is we want to get guys on base, work at bats, get those starters pitch counts up, and get into the bullpen. And I think today was one of those things. He had us, he was holding us down pretty good, but we kept fighting, kept sticking with it, and then he made a couple mistakes with some guys on, and the boys capitalized.
Hey, that rally came with 2 outs. You stepped to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs. What's your approach in that situation? In your mind, are you going to be aggressive first pitch?
Honestly, I just wanted to get on time and, just see one out over the plate. The first pitch happened to be the best one to hit, and, we put a good swing on it. And today is just more of letting whatever happens. I want to just go out there, hit the ball hard, and, let everything else work its way out. And today was a good one.
Well, good things happened for you. On base, 3 hits today. Did you adjust anything coming into today?
No, just staying inside the ball, trying to use the whole field, and I always say that, and I end up pulling some stuff, but really it's just a humble thought process leads to big results.
Did Gonzalez have you nervous there in that 9th inning?
No. That's my guy right there. So I saw who we had up. I liked the chances, and the matchups were good.
Nothing but confidence. I love it. Alex, thanks for the time.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Send it back to you.
Thank you. And you look at that big inning, and Dave, you don't know if there's going to be any carryover to the next game in the next series, but it was, yesterday all we were talking about was Juan Soto as the offense, and that was it. And now, as we saw, more guys got involved.
And anytime you get the entire lineup kind of contributing, whether it's a walk, whether it's a base hit, it's so crucial for you to be able to continue to put runs up on the board. We talked about it pregame, right? String it together. Well, they did. They strung 3 walks together and then 3 consecutive hits, scoring 5 runs. He had 9 hits today. That matches their total for the first 2 ball games.
What did you think about the way that they just grinded out those at-bats?
Yeah, it just looked familiar to me to the first couple of weeks. But again, you go look up and down the lineup. Volpe's still not on time. Aaron Judge had a base hit, but he's still searching. Juan Soto wasn't the hero today, but when you get 3 walks in an inning followed up by 3 hits, good things are going to happen in that 5th inning.
Were you surprised? You kind of alluded to this, that Kevin Cash stuck with Savali, or is he trusting the veteran to go over that 100-pitch count and get some outs?
I think we're getting to the point in the year, and we're going to see this from Aaron Boone as well, when you're playing 17 games in a row like the Yankees are. There are going to be some interesting pitching decisions with starters and bullpens. I think that Kevin Cash, looking at Savali, was trying to get him through that inning, trying to steal some outs to save that bullpen, which hasn't been great this year. He's still trying to figure that out. Thought maybe he just went a little bit too long with him.
Yeah, and just think about what Aaron Boone did today, right? Hill gets into the 6th inning. He walks the 2 guys. What does he do? He takes them out. Cash leaves them in, and the Yankees were able to capitalize.
All right, speaking of Luis Hill, let's take a look at his outing right now. Highlights courtesy of your local Ford stores. And Flash, we talked about it on the pregame. He was looking for a bounce back after 7 walks his last time out.
7 walks, and I love the first batter of the game. He was really establishing his fastball. This is going to be the first inning to a Rosarena already with 1 out, and there's that really good changeup at 92 miles an hour down and in. Then it's going to be Paredes up there at 3-2 count, and this is going to be the fastball that you just cannot do anything with that pitch. That's why Yankee officials get so excited when they talk about Hill, the ability to strike out 9 in the game with 3 quality pitches.
Well, that fastball is explosive. I mean, it is electric. It jumps through the strike zone. Those 9 strikeouts, a career high for Hill, was fantastic. The fact that he had 15 first pitch strikes, they must have been listening to your pregame scouting report, Flash, because Trevino was set up right down the middle, allowing that fastball to move each way it wanted. He wasn't trying to have him pick spots on the outside or the inside, and that fastball played all day long.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought up Trevino, because I don't think there's any coincidence that the veteran behind the plate working with the young right-hander, and we both said the mix of pitches seemed to be so much better today. There was a couple of sliders in the first inning. We know the changeup is a pitch that he loves, but I said this in our cut-in, Bob. If you're Luis Hill, you look at the video of this one and say that's what the mix should look like right there, the pitch breakdown.
On the pregame, you were talking about how his last outing, he didn't even throw the slider until about the 4th inning. And I want to ask you about something. We were watching the game, and you mentioned in my office, you're like, oh, there's the slider. He incorporated it early. How did that help him?
Yeah, he threw 2 of them in the first inning, okay? And there are going to be times, and Dave and I both know this, you warm up a pitcher out in the bullpen, and you say, I want to get that slider involved because he might have a better one today than he thinks he has. I thought it was great Trevino introduced it early.